Here we go. A Georgia Court of Appeals has disqualified the Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, from that election interference case. It's coming down right now. The case against Trump and more than a dozen others already largely stalled, as you know. The new ruling means that it will be up to the prosecuting attorney's council in the state of Georgia to find another prosecutor to decide on the case, to take it over and make a decision as to whether or not they continue with a prosecution of the incoming president.
And former Deputy Assistant Attorney General John Yoo is here. John, does this mean that this is yet another one of the cases against Trump that could go away before he's president?
It's another example, Dana, of this lawfare campaign that was waged by Democrats, boomeranging back on them and falling all around their ears. Anyone who watched this trial, remember, this is the DA who claimed that the entire Trump reelection campaign was something like an organized crime racket that was intending to deprive everyone of our civil rights to vote. But remember, we saw the dramatic testimony over the summer of how DA Fani Willis had hired her boyfriend, essentially, to be the special counsel, overpaid him, and then had him investigate and bring charges against Donald Trump. It's a complete conflict of interest. And if you take a quick look at the Georgia Appeals Court decision here, that's what it says. There's such an appearance of impropriety, an appearance of a conflict of interest, that Fani Willis should not be the prosecutor. I think this spells yet another case that's going to have to either be suspended or more likely just ended and tossed out. It's hard for me to see another Georgia district attorney wanting to take up this flawed case and try to prosecute Trump on these theories that his reelection campaign was some kind of criminal organized crime enterprise.
Snowflakes are falling and they taste so salty. Liberals are crying, I couldn't be more jolly. Oh, yo, oh, oh, we love the Benny Show. Say Merry Christmas and never let it go. The country turns so red it looks like Santa's sack. Woke celebrities pack their bags and never come back. Well, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from the Benny Show.
Ooh, baby, we weren't expecting a Christmas present this morning, but we had to just let her rip and go live and say, boom, baby. One more victory before the year's end, maybe more, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to rock this morning with glorious Yuletide tidings of great joy for you. Big Fani has been spanked hard on live TV, and Nathan's hot dog has been shriveled like a little turtle running away. Ladies and gentlemen, officially, Fani Willis has been disqualified from the Trump case this morning, moments ago. We're live a little bit early because there's too much to talk about today, and we're too excited about it. Today's Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Happy morning, glorious to you, and a Merry Christmas to you. Fani Willis disqualified officially from her case against Trump. Elon Musk leads first ever Doge victory in Washington, D.C. as he destroys the swamp and swamp spending and cucky Republicans who wish to betray you and the American voters. We're going to cover all that today. Trump hysterically trolls AOC on social media, and Elizabeth Warren is now siding with Donald Trump along with Bernie Sanders. What's going on? The remaking of the political universe is happening right now before our very eyes. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be joined by some incredible people on this program. We have the great Byron Donalds on the show, along with Senator Mike Lee, along with Senator Josh Hawley, live on the program today. But first, we're going to be joined by the great Mike Davis here in just a moment to absolutely tap dance all over this travesty that was the Georgia case. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so very, very excited about this. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Make sure that you are connected like we will be connected when we head out onto the road today. We're going to Phoenix later today for America Fest. I don't know if we have the promos. Just pop those up. America Fest, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to do our we're going to do our stockings. We have more stockings to hang. But we have breaking news that we're going to cover first. We'll be going to America Fest. Please join us. This is the lineup. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be live tomorrow on stage. We're going to be live tomorrow on stage. Approximately 3 p.m. Phoenix time, which I think is like 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, it's going to be amazing. When we're on the road, we take our Patriot Mobile devices with us. Patriot Mobile is the only Christian conservative wireless provider in the country. Patriot Mobile keeps us connected while we're on the road and rip-roaring, like right now with breaking news. PatriotMobile.com/Benny or call 972-PATRIOT. Right now, get a free month when you use the offer code Benny. PatriotMobile.com/Benny. A great Christmas present, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're not funding the left or people that hate you that want to take away your free speech. Speaking of, the Republicans snuck a poison pill into their funding bill that would have continued the government's censorship center. Incredible. Something called the Global Engagement Center. You've heard Mike Benz on this program talking about it. It is truly evil and censorious. I can't believe Republicans would backstab us like that, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hold their feet to the fire and stiffen their spine, put gunpowder in their guts, and give them a set of balls in their shorts. There's been one man who's been doing that work, ladies and gentlemen. It's the great Mike Davis. Mike Davis, ladies and gentlemen, has been on this program day and night and day, talking about Fani Willis and the disqualification of Fani Willis and why the lawsuit that she brought against Donald Trump, the case she brought against Donald Trump in Georgia, it was complete and total hot garbage. Mike Davis has made many, many double entendres on this program and has turned, red, cherry red with laughter, talking about how absurd Big Fani is and her lover boy, Nathan Wade. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to bring you tidings of great joy to talk through this disqualification. Right now, the great Mike Davis joins the program live. Oh, Mike. Oh, Michael. Oh, what a glorious Christmas morn this is. I doubt that you will be mourning for Fani Willis, but maybe you can start with the top line here, Mike, and talk through this disqualification from the Georgia Appeals Court that just hit a couple minutes ago. I assume that you agree.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple case. Fani Willis hired her dumb, unqualified boyfriend, Nathan Wade. She paid him $250 an hour, $700,000 in Fulton County funds to bring a RICO case against President Trump and 18 others for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887 and the First Amendment. And if that's not a big enough problem that she hired her secret boyfriend, she also took illegal kickbacks from her dumb, unqualified boyfriend in the form of lavish trips around the world. Poor Nathan had to take Fani Willis to Belize and the Caribbean and Napa, all over the world. Remember, Fani Willis testified that she's a Grey Goose girl. She is a high-class woman. I was going to use another word, but I'll get in trouble on your show. So she took these illegal kickbacks, which means that she has a financial stake in the case. You're paying someone to handle your prosecution in your office, and then you're taking money in return. Not only does that disqualify you from the case, it disqualifies the entire office from the case, and it's also very serious criminal violations, like, for example, federal honest services fraud, maybe bribery, maybe other statutes. And so when Fani Willis got called into this Georgia trial court to answer for this, remember, she lied about it. She said, oh, no. We went Dutch to Napa and Belize and the Caribbean. Because my Black Panther father taught me to keep a bunch of cash laying around the house like I'm a drug dealer or hoe. And what she would do, she said in court, is she would pay back Fani Willis cash on these trips. Well, guess what? She didn't have any receipts. She had no evidence of that. And she didn't have any evidence that after she paid thousands of dollars to Nathan Wade for these trips, how she would replenish that cash so she could have that cash reserve that her Black Panther father wanted her to have in her mattress at home, right? And so that's a problem.
Where she lays her head. Where she lays her head.
And Nathan Wade lays his
where
head
she
too.
lays her head.
So,
That's right.
yeah, apparently, well, I don't actually. Maybe Nathan doesn't stay over. He just comes over and does the deed and takes off. But I would say this. So we had this Scott McAfee, this judge in Georgia, appointed by Kemp in Fulton County, Georgia. He kind of wimped out on this. He said, "Oh no. This is a problem, but you guys can decide. Either Nathan Wade can get off the case or Fani Willis can get off the case." Well, that's not how the law works. And that's what the Georgia Court of Appeals just reversed. When you have a corrupted head of the office like Fani Willis, the elected DA for Fulton County, the entire office is infected with that corruption, with that conflict of interest. And so the entire office has to go. The entire office has to get disqualified. That's exactly what the Georgia Court of Appeals did. Disqualified the entire office, the Fulton County office. And now what needs to happen is that if another prosecutor in Georgia wants to bring these charges again, that prosecutor can look at that. But this case is such a dog that no one would bring this case except for Fani Willis because she's corrupt and she was making money off of it. So my strong sense is this Georgia RICO case is gone forever.
So the case may be gone forever, this case, but there may be new cases. What we've learned throughout this trial is not only malfeasance inside of the office, but also outside. Nathan Wade went to the White House and billed the taxpayers of Georgia for that. He lied. He coordinated with the White House, and Fani Willis did as well. Fani Willis coordinated with the January 6th committee. He coordinated with Liz Cheney. We know this because we have the travel receipts and we have the security logs from the White House. The Secret Service said she went. And so they've lied multiple times about this. Mike, what kind of legal jeopardy is Fani Willis and Nathan Wade in now because of this scam?
Tremendous. And I would say this, remember, Nathan Wade billed for 16 hours, $250 an hour, $4,000 for his two meetings with the Biden White House, including the Biden White House counsel. Well, they had to have been coordinating on this Trump case in Georgia because otherwise he would not have been able to bill his time if they weren't coordinating on the Trump case. And so they coordinated with the Biden White House before Fani Willis brought her indictment down in Georgia. Look, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade are going to have a lot of problems on their own. State and federal fraud charges, corruption charges, bribery charges. Separate from that, there is an obvious criminal conspiracy among the Biden White House, the Biden Justice Department, Fani Willis's office in Georgia, Tish James' office in New York, Alvin Bragg's office in New York City, Chris May's office in Arizona, many other offices around where you have these government officials conspiring amongst themselves along with private actors like Andrew Weissman, for example, to politicize and weaponize intelligencies and law enforcement against political enemies. And that is a very definition of a criminal conspiracy against rights under 18 USC Section 241. And the Biden Justice Department's very familiar with 18 USC Section 241. It's one of the four charges that Jack Smith and Jay Bratz and the other special counsel operatives, Democrat operatives, brought against President Trump in D.C. for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election on January 6th. And so I would suggest to Fani Willis and Nathan Wade and Tish James and Alvin Bragg and Matthew Colangelo and Jay Bratt and Jack Smith and even judges like Engeron and so many others who are bad actors, I would suggest that they lawyer up, because I imagine that the Trump 47 Justice Department is going to open a criminal probe, maybe even a special grand jury down in Fort Pierce, Florida, on this criminal conspiracy against rights, a very serious federal civil rights felony. We don't live in a third world Marxist hellhole We don't throw our political opponents in prison for the rest of their lives for non-crimes. We don't try to bankrupt them for non-fraud. We don't try to throw them off the ballots illegally, unconstitutionally, like they did in Colorado and Maine and elsewhere. We don't try to get our political opponent killed by underfunding his Secret Service protection and then going out and giving speeches how President Trump is the biggest threat to American democracy ever and comparing him to Hitler. That's not going to fly. And so starting on January 20th at noon, I'm going to push very forcefully and daily to make sure that there is accountability for this. There must be severe legal, political, and financial consequences. And I would say to Fani Willis down in Georgia and her dumb, unqualified boyfriend, Nathan Wade, lawyer up, couple, because I imagine that the wrath of the Justice Department is coming.
Mike, that was like a gladiator scorched earth speech before battle. It was it was chilling. It was beautiful, actually, to listen to. Have you been practicing that in the mirror? Actually, you've been practicing that on this show for the better part of the last 3 years. You've been right on this topic. And so now I got to ask you about the future. Do you think that Fani Willis may be facing disbarment or jail?
She should face both. I mean, she is obviously corrupt. Her office just got disqualified because of her corruption. The state of Georgia should bring state fraud and corruption charges, and the feds need to bring federal fraud and corruption charges in addition to the criminal conspiracy against rights. And you have to ask this question of Merrick Garland, who says that nobody's above the law. Where the hell is the criminal probe of Fani Willis and Nathan Wade? And maybe they don't want to bring this criminal probe because it ties directly to the Biden White House, including Biden White House counsel's office. Nathan Wade had 2 meetings, again, $4,000 worth of his time billed to Fulton County taxpayers, 16 hours for his 2 meetings. Maybe that's why Merrick Garland is protecting Joe Biden and Joe Biden's White House again.
Yeah. So how would you advise the Justice Department? You are outside. You're at the Article 3 Project. We freaking love the Article 3 Project. Do a big shout out to them every single show. Okay. Mike runs that. It's the best legal authority in the country. And I want to ask about Liz Cheney, but very quickly, one more question on Fani Willis. How would you advise the Justice Department to move forward? Is this a special counsel operation? Like, let's say you were asked, is this a special counsel operation? Is this like a special prosecutor, Mike? Is it how would you make sure, taking a step back and not bringing any names into this, how do you make sure that this is so scorched earth, so salted of the earth, that it never happens to anyone again, Republican or Democrat? Because I think that's actually what we want here, frankly.
I think it's pretty easy. You just have the public integrity section team up with the U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Georgia, and you get a grand jury indictment, and you bring these fraud and corruption charges. It's a very simple case. She was taking illegal kickbacks with Fulton County funds. This is honest services fraud. This is bribery. There are so many potential charges that the Biden Justice Department could bring and should bring, but the whole Justice Department is corrupted. And that's going to be, I imagine that will be part of the investigation by the Trump 47 Justice Department is why didn't these federal prosecutors and these federal agents bring these charges or even recommend these charges? And there has to be a house cleaning. Apparently there needs to be a house cleaning in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia, as well as the Southern District of New York and D.C. and many other places.
Georgia's a firm red state. It's getting redder. Georgia's going to go the way of Florida, I believe, in the next election cycle, where it's going to be completely and totally out of reach for Democrats. And I really look forward to some justice there. Zooming out a bit, somebody aforementioned, Liz Cheney, clearly Fani Willis met with the receipts show that Fani Willis met with the January 6th committee. Liz Cheney is in hot water, and you says Liz Cheney needs to retain her documents and get legal counsel immediately this week based on other illegalities about witness tampering with Cassidy Hutchinson and so forth. Can you please explain that, Mike? What legal problems is Liz Cheney facing right now?
Well, there's pretty smoking gun evidence in the form of text messages where Liz Cheney is working with Cassidy Hutchinson and maybe Alyssa Farrell to change Cassidy Hutchinson's sworn testimony to Congress. And if that ends up being true, that is perjury, subornation of perjury, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, conspiracy. Liz Cheney is better lawyer up, and I don't think her daddy's going to be able to save her on this one.
Maybe her punishment could just be going hunting with her dad. You know, maybe that could just be you have to go pheasant hunting with Dick, right?
Boy. Oh boy!
Just a thought.
I thought we got through the whole show, Ben, without causing controversy, and now Media Matters. There it is for Media Matters. I can write the headline for it. It's Ben this time. It's not me.
Made that joke many times. Okay. All right. So, really quickly, Mike here, I know we're up against a hard out, and we appreciate your time. Since you have made many alliterations on this program about Big Fani, we've made some AIs for your viewing pleasure. This is something that actually, I don't know if they're AIs. I think this might actually be a shot from inside the courthouse this morning. Donald Trump with Fani Willis and with a spanking paddle. It seems like Fani, in the words of our president, Fani like your ass. Again, I'm just quoting Donald Trump here. Fani like your ass. It seems like Donald Trump is going to get the last hard spanking here.
Yeah, I mean, when I commented about another behind of another prosecutor, Tish James, I made headlines and got into a little bit of hot water. So I have to take the word big out of my vocabulary today.
Not as hot as the water at the Bahamas resort that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis were staying at on the taxpayer dime. Mike, we're really, really thankful for your fight in this. It's been so important to note to everyone, and we tell this to anyone who will listen, and I just want to say it as a final shout out. There were times, and entire seasons, months that would go by where no one would come on and defend Trump. I'm not gonna shame people yet. I will eventually. But where members of Congress and everyone refused us and said we won't go on and defend Trump. We're too scared. They're cowards. And Mike was a real one. Mike would always say yes if he could, along with Kash Patel and Alina Habba. And that's it. There were dark seasons when it was literally just Mike. And so chat, I just want you to shout out Mike. I just want you to thank Mike for being one of the real ones. If Donald Trump were to call me down to Mar-a-Lago and say, who were the loyal ones, that would be my list. Mike, Alina Habba, and Kash. Because our bookers know on this program how tough it was for literally months on end to get a guest to come on and defend Trump legally. It was very difficult. A lot of cowards out there.
And now Alina Habba's counselor to the president, and Kash Patel is going to be the FBI director, and Mike Davis is going to be the viceroy. It's going to be quite a four-year run.
If I may, Mike, in closing, as the last question here, may I give you just the floor to give some advice to Kash Patel, who's beloved by this audience. I know that you know him very well and you've worked with him. It looks like Kash Patel is rolling through DC right now. You know the Senate quite well. Some advice.
I would say that Kash, very quick. It's time to go into the FBI Kash and clean house. And so we have your back every step of the way. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Mike. Godspeed, sir.
Thank you.
Good old Mike Davis. Freaking love that dude. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rock and roll. We have an amazing show ahead for you. My bookers are telling me that we're working on Josh Hawley. Okay, so they want to Josh Hawley's running around to meetings. He's going to call in to the program. Mike Lee is going to come on to talk about this abomination of a spending bill that was nuked. And we're going to ask Mike Lee if he wants what Rand Paul wants, which is Elon Musk for Speaker of the House. You know, Speaker of the House doesn't have to be a member of Congress. We were part of saving American history yesterday. We were part of changing American history, saving Western civilization yesterday. It was so exciting. We're going to cover all of it. But we still want to belabor the glory of this Fani Willis news. And, hey, can you tell me, what do we think? Oh, Byron Donalds? Okay, so no Byron Donalds today. Andy Biggs instead. Byron Donalds can't do it. Sounds like Byron Donalds is potentially in a meeting with Mike Johnson right now. So Byron Donalds was booked for the show. Byron can't do it. Kara, just let me know. We're rocking and rolling, okay? We're rocking and rolling. So Representative Andy Biggs will be on the program soon to talk again about this. Andy Biggs was one of the first homies in Congress to come out against this, and I want to be on time today. We have so much to do. First off, though, as we get rocking and rolling, and we were live early today, we want to hang up our beautiful new stockings. Here we go. Our new stockings. Glenn Tallman, that's your name, and Starshine. These are for the Super Chats. These are the Super Chat stockings. Thank you so much. This number one Super Chats get stockings inside of our studio. Here we go. In case you're wondering if we actually physically build our studio, yes we do, and we can actually interact with it. There it is. And there you go. Hung by the chimney with care and love. And thank you. The Super Chats for the program, the top Super Chats. We'll read your Super Chat. Of course, we'll read your message of the show. Please make it family friendly. And we'll put your name physically on a stocking, and we'll hang it up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll pop it up inside of the studio. So please keep those Super Chats rolling, and we thank you and appreciate you. Georgia Appeals Court on Thursday booted Fani Willis's case. Booted Fani Willis from the case, 2020 election interference. The panel described Willis's relationship with ex-special prosecutor Nathan Wade as significant appearance of impropriety. The court declined to outright dismiss Trump's indictment, but disqualifying Willis' office shows and throws the future of the case into total doubt and be complicated by Trump's impending return to the White House. After carefully considering the trial and the court's finding in the order, we conclude that the erred by failing to disqualify Fani Willis from her office, the court wrote in a ruling. The remedy crafted by the court to prevent an ongoing appearance of impropriety did nothing to address the appearance of impropriety that existed at the time of DA Fani Willis exercising her broad pre-trial discretion about who to prosecute and what charges to bring. It continued. So Fani Willis gets completely destroyed today. This is glorious and absolutely uproarious news. Chat, can you tell me Trump just responded? Can we get Trump's response? I just want to make sure that we're ready to rock with that. Donald Trump's response to this, CNN is melting down. The news is breaking. The news is less than 30 minutes old. So the news is breaking and it's hot right now. Let's do President Trump's response. President Trump just cheers disqualification of corrupt Fani Willis case, saying the case is entirely dead. Everybody should receive an apology, says President Trump in a phone call with Based Brook from Fox News. President-elect Donald Trump reacted to Georgia Court of Appeals' decision to disqualify corrupt Fani Willis and her team by telling Fox News Digital that the case is entirely dead, and his wonderful patriots who have been caught up in this for years should receive an apology from Fani Willis. Donald Trump was on a phone call with Fox News saying this. The Georgia Court of Appeals on Thursday disqualified Willis and her team from prosecuting Trump and co-defendants for her election interference case. The court did not toss the indictment, but declared Willis and her team now have no authority to proceed. Woo, baby. The executive interview with Fox News Digital, Trump said the whole case has been a disgrace to justice. It was started by the Biden DOJ as an attack on his political opponent, Donald Trump, and they used anyone and anybody. They have been disqualified, and her boyfriend has been disqualified. They stole funds and went on trips, says Donald Trump. Ooh, baby. Donald Trump looks and sounds very, very mad. Donald Trump has made a number of funny jokes about Fani Willis. I actually spoke with Donald Trump about the jokes that he's made about Fani Willis. There are so many jokes to be made about this. Here are some of Donald Trump's greatest bangers. We gotta spend all of our gunpowder here because we'll probably never talk about Fani Willis again until she's put in prison. And, can you pop that up, please? Killer Klein, what you got on screen right there? I want to say, as a thank you from this program, we've covered this so much. Thank you, Fani. Look at this. This mugshot, single greatest mugshot in American history, in world history, no doubt. This mugshot goes with the mugshots of Gandhi and Elvis, right? Frank Sinatra has a mugshot. Thank you for this. Without Fani Willis, we wouldn't have this hard AF mugshot. It's the greatest mugshot ever in American history. People got this tattooed. Yo, it's just like it's a thing of beauty. And without Big Fani, we don't get it. Donald Trump joking about Fani Willis. Donald Trump has many jokes about Fani Willis. Why don't we play these clips back to back, Killer Klein? Okay, we'll go through. Here's Trump roasting Fani like her ass.
I was indicted by Fani in Georgia. Fani. How did that work out? And her lover, Nathan Wade. And they hired him for almost $1 million because of his great experience. Of course, he didn't have any experience. He had experience in something else. You know that. A lot of experience. And at that, I'm quite sure he was very good based on the fact that she called him 2,000 times. I didn't know the gentleman. I didn't know him. Oh, you have 2,000 phone calls, 3,500 text messages. How is it possible in a short... I know a lot of people. We like a lot of people. I happen to have a very good relationship with a woman called Melania. But I would venture to say in all the years that I've known her, I might not have called her 2,500 times. I know I didn't send 3,500 text messages.
Okay, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I want to pause here for a second. Klein, can you load that as a play-beside? Donald Trump here saying in a speech that Nathan Wade was good at something else. He's not good at law, but he's good at something else. Okay, so we watched that, and then later that day, Donald Trump went to the UFC fight in Miami. And we got a chance to chat with Trump, and I was complimenting him on how hilarious that was. And you'll see here, there's no audio in this video. We want to respect Trump's privacy. But you can see here that we use the Trump Nathan Wade action. He loved it. He freaking loved it. Anyway, we're big fans of President Trump, the way that he savages his political opponents, and we haven't even gotten to Congress yet. Really quickly here, let's go. Fani, like your ass.
All these local cases like Fani. It's spelled Fanny. It's spelled Fanny like your ass, right, Fanny? But when she became DA, she decided to add a little French, a little fancy. Fani and, you know, Fani and Mr. and Mrs. Wade, which his wife did not appreciate.
Oh man, okay. Fani didn't appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Fani was very upset about Donald Trump's trolling. Here we go.
While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
You ever heard of the Streisand effect? Like, you do realize that when you say things like that and you're talking about how your name is a woman's rear, that it's going to make us say it all the more. And when you call us schoolboys, yeah, we're schoolboys. And this photo, by the way, is hard, goes hard. And we think as schoolboys, this kicks ass. This is the greatest political backfire in American history. Fani Willis gave us this image, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, man, there are so many wonderful things that we don't wish to forget, but we have to move quickly, ladies and gentlemen, in our recollection of these glorious moments, because, well, we're going to be joined by multiple members of Congress here soon from the House and Senate to talk about the destruction of the corrupt war pigs and taxation cucks inside of the Republican Party. And we're very excited about that too. Here we go. Fani Willis. No black woman is perfect.
All the glory I receive, it's his grace, not a perfect me. We are at a time in history, people. Hear me on this. We are at a time in history when you can no longer sit back and just let other folks do it. You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world. The Lord is completing us. We are not perfect. We need your prayers. We need to be allowed to stumble. We need grace. With that kind of support, we will move mountains and...
Careful. Okay, I'm just saying this as a simple Christian. Careful. All right? Careful. You're up on a church dais right there. You're defending illegality and lying there. That's a desecration of the cross. Don't do it. Don't do it. Better to come to the cross humbly and admit that you have sinned than to sit there and clothe yourself in glory. I got to tell you, careful. And the moment you see that, the moment you say, well, you know what? I got to tell you, the wages of sin, you know? And lo and behold, we got it. Talk about destruction and humiliation. You can't end this. You can't close the chapter on this humiliating experience for Fani Willis without playing this moment from her trial, where Fani Willis had a mental breakdown, what can only be described as some type of like over-medicated, psychotic, Grey Goose fueled mental meltdown, where she started screaming in the middle of the trial. Remember, this is the cool-headed, calm, thoughtful, legal scholar that's prosecuting Donald Trump. Here you go.
And where, when did he come to, I guess, the condo? I'm not sure what you called it, condo apartment. Would he come and stay at that condo or visit you there? I'm sorry, visit you there.
What condo, what apartment? I want to be clear.
So not your house. I know you classified one as house and one as condo, so I'm trying to use those terms.
So there's been more see, what you don't understand is because of this case, I got to move. And so I need to...
if you could ask a more precise question.
Yes,
please, give me the time period.
Mr. Wade visited you at the place you laid your head.
When?
Has he ever visited you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth,
Judge.
And it is a lie. It is a lie.
Well, Mr. Sena, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes. Be back in 5.
Dude, I do, like, we do a live stream to talk about news and the absurdity of news. You've never seen me, like, take papers and throw them around and scream. I do my best to, like, stay under control, even though I do get excited about the current environment, and this is, like, kind of our style on here, right? And when you want somebody to reflect, obviously, your emotions about these certain things, and I am here with you. I'm just like a dude, right? But I'm not, like, she's prosecuting the single most important case in American political history. She's trying to put 20 people that work for Donald Trump in prison, like, for the rest of their lives. And she's behaving like this? Again, like, I would think this would be pretty extreme even for our show, right? And we have a show, like, built on memes. It's pretty embarrassing. But Fani Willis is not embarrassed. Here we go.
My reputation. I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. I guess my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something that I find embarrassing in any way. And I know that I have not done anything that's illegal.
Okay, so here's the rule, right? Here's the rule. You tell on yourself when you... Like when my 2-year-old comes running up to me with cookie crumbles all over their face, saying that they didn't eat the cookies, you're telling on yourself. When Fani Willis is standing there being like, I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't. I promise. I actually didn't. No. I didn't do anything illegal. You did something illegal. It's like, yeah, I wonder here, ladies and gentlemen, who's like innocent people don't go running up to CNN cameras and go, hey, excuse me, I didn't do anything illegal. Just wanted to put that out there for the record. We want to put that out there for the record, ladies and gentlemen, that the single greatest meme, maybe not ever, in American history, but certainly one of the greatest memes of the last couple of years. And the greatest meme of this entire saga is Fani Willis's boyfriend, somebody who we lovingly refer to as Nathan's hot dog, Nathan Wade, who was standing on, or sitting on, the stand, and is answering possibly one of the toughest legal questions ever posed in a court of law. I mean, this truly is like A Few Good Men kind of stuff, right? This is like the darkest, deepest depths of law and order. The most difficult and profound legal scholars have the hardest times answering a question as this. All the way back to the time of Aristotle and Socrates have men belabored over this important point. Have you been to the cabin in the woods?
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever?
Ever.
All this time we've been together, thought a thing would last forever. Through thick and thin, good or bad, all I was happy, never sad. Now it's all gone sour, getting worse by the hour. Let's break up now. No.
You've never gone to a cabin with this?
No.
We will miss that meme. We really will. The glory, if you know, you know. The glory of that meme, we live streamed for like 12 straight hours during these testimonies, okay? We live streamed for literally an entire day because they were so entertaining. If you know, you know. The lore here is that Nathan Wade, the meme is very funny, Nathan Wade literally had to sit and pause for 60 straight seconds to answer the question, did you go to a cabin? That's it. It took 60 seconds of him staring at the ceiling and sweating his bald ass off to answer that question. And so it really did require us to dig deep and to ask, what was he thinking about in those moments? And we think we know. We think we know. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a single glorious and important day. It is something that, well, we are so, we are longing, actually. We are longing for more reasons to celebrate. And we have them in Congress. We'll be joined in just a moment by Representative Andy Biggs. Until we move, but before we move off this entire point, this point here, I want to give you one salt that lid. We've salted so much Fani Willis. We've gotten our salt shakers out. We've done so much salt pouring. Here's our salt that lib of the day. Killer Klein, it's going to be the CNN clip here. Okay, gotcha. It's just Jim Acosta. It's Jim Acosta responding to this news. I couldn't pick a better person to be live on CNN when this news broke. But salty Jim Acosta, somebody who has cried on camera before. Salty Jim Acosta responding to the Fani Willis news. This is the man who, of course, told you that Donald Trump was going to prison, was going to lose the 2024 election, was an insurrectionist, and now Jim Acosta has to see the final case against Donald Trump go down in flames. And we couldn't think of a more fitting salt bucket to bring to Jim. And if you're new to the show, we got a lot of new viewers. Fastest single growing news stream on earth is this program, and we love you and we thank you. If you're new to the show, we salt that lid. We put salt in the comment section, so please drop your salt shakers in the comment section to help us replenish the sodium for Jim Acosta. I mean, we're doing him a favor here. Replenish the sodium for Jim Acosta as he cries on camera live on CNN. Salt that lid.
We begin this hour with breaking news just into CNN. The Georgia prosecutor leading the state's election interference case against President-elect Donald Trump is now disqualified. CNN's Caitlin Polance is here with more. Caitlin, what can you tell us about this? This is just coming in the last several minutes. This is a big development.
A big development, and a big development that Donald Trump has wanted for a long time. That case against him in Georgia, the criminal case, where it's accusing him and several others of a racketeering conspiracy related to the 2020 election, it's already been paused. Now, it's not even backburnered. This is a case that will be dead in the water because the Georgia Court of Appeals is now saying that Fani Willis, the leader of the prosecution against Donald Trump, the district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, she should be disqualified from being able to bring that case. The Georgia Court of Appeals is saying that it's a significant appearance of impropriety caused by the conduct of a public prosecutor. That is Willis, how she behaved, how she was speaking about the case, about Trump publicly, about how she was having a relationship with the top prosecutor that was concealed in this, a man named Nathan Wade. All of that, previously, the trial level judge had looked at and said, Fani Willis can stay on this case. We're not dismissing the indictment. But the Court of Appeals is now taking another look and saying, no, the trial judge was wrong. Fani Willis should be disqualified from continuing to lead this case. It would be a long process, or it will be a long process, to replace her, which is why I say this case is dead in the water now without Fani Willis, the person who was leading this case against Donald Trump in Fulton County. And just to keep tabs on how many cases there are against Donald Trump criminally, the other two in federal court, January 6th, and classified documents, those are dismissed. And then the additional case in New York City, where he was set to be sentenced, that sentencing is now not happening. So as Donald Trump enters the presidency, each of these courts that is handling a criminal case is essentially removing that issue from him to have to deal with in any period of time in the near future.
All right, Kaylin Polance, thanks for that added perspective. Let me bring in and see.
Sorry, there's so much salt I can barely get to it. I can barely get to all. You can barely get to all the salt. The salt is still pouring in. Salt is still pouring in the comment section. So we freaking love the salt. Thank you for bringing that salt. Now, ladies and gentlemen, joining the program live, a man who has certainly provided an enormous amount of salt for the Republican leaders in Congress. Are they leaders, actually, if they sell us out every single time that they go to the negotiating table? No, of course, they're not actual leaders. They're people who backstab and betray us for more taxation, which is something we're going to talk about with the great representative, Andy Biggs of the Freedom Caucus, one of the few people willing to stand up against the broken system in Congress. Representative Andy Biggs joins us now. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Benny. It's great to be with you. Congratulations on being the fastest growing news online purveyor in the universe right now, and I think that's awesome.
I'm sorry if there's too much salt right now all over the show. We're drowning in salt today. And it's very good. We're replenishing, actually, the sodium supplies for our liberal friends who are sobbing, typically across the aisle, but now there's Republicans who are sobbing inside of the Republican leadership in the House as the people of this nation decided to finally say no to all of the gluttonous, obese spending in Washington, D.C., with this continuing resolution that they tried to ram down your throats yesterday. A massive victory, yes.
Yeah, a huge victory. And I see when you say gluttonous, I think of some big, fat Uber just moving along. Yeah. Here's the deal, though. Benny, we killed it yesterday. And nothing's ever totally dead here. I just came from a meeting where I'm afraid that they're trying to resurrect the dead here, and so we're still in a fight to make this more responsible. So
they're still trying to bring the 1,500-page bill, Congressman?
No. Now they said, well, we might be able to throw out 400 here, 200 there. I mean, the bottom line is we don't know what they're really trying to do, right? I mean.
Why not just pass a clean CR? Like, this is a continuing resolution, and I don't want to get too lost in jargon, but this isn't like this is just to continue the government spending as is. You could just do it in one page, right?
Yeah, I think it takes closer really to 22, 23 pages because you have to give all the authorities to go on. You have to keep all the crappy programs in place, keep giving to the World Health Organization, Planned Parenthood, all of that stuff. That's part of what a CR does. So, but yeah, I mean, by the way, this CR, he had the votes for this CR because you had the Democrats and the Republicans that were going to vote for it. Not all Republicans. Sane ones were going to vote no. But they were going to vote for this probably 2.5, 3 weeks ago. But no, you have to take and actually turn it into this crappy sandwich there, where you have a dog has made a mistake and laid something on a piece of bread and then try to give that to the members of Congress. That's what this was yesterday. And we'll see what they're going to do today.
So Mike Johnson promised not to use Christmas as a leverage point. That's exactly what he's doing here.
That's right.
And so they're running this up against Christmas to try and force every member of Congress who wants to be home with their family for Christmas. I mean, it's like completely like wrong. It's sick. Right. It's evil, and it's cowardly. And then they're negotiating with Democrats behind your back, even though we have the majority. Why are Republicans constantly acting like such freaking losers? Why not this, Congressman? Why not just like do a clean CR? If that's 20 pages, fine. Maybe you should strip out the WHO and Planned Parenthood funding from that. But let's just say, start with this. Go on national TV, call a press conference, get the cameras of Your Earth there, plus our show, we'll be broadcasting it live. Slap a clean CR down and say, this is simply to keep the government open. It is free of extra taxation because none of these are spending bills. They're all tax bills. The Republican wanted to raise taxes by $110 billion yesterday. And say, we dare Democrats to make the case for more gluttonous, obese government spending. We will not overburden the taxpayers. Why not just do that? Wouldn't that be like the moral thing to do?
Well, I have problems with the CR in and of itself, but it would be the easier thing to do, Vinny. And it's certainly something that you could have done 2 months ago. And it's certainly something you could do if you're willing to keep funding the programs. And by the way, I have a feeling that's where he's going to end up. He's going to end up back there. But there's a reason that I say that the Democrat Party is the evil party and the Republican Party is the stupid party. And we are the stupid party because instead we've had the majority here. And instead of passing true appropriations bills where you could get rid of some programs, keep others, and really make this thing work, which I don't know. We've only had 15 months of the current speaker. He didn't do that. He's done a series of these CRs, which is, by the way, is why you have $36.5 trillion in national debt, because the next one we do will be the 35th CR in the last 10 years instead of ever doing a real budget.
So how much of an effect did Elon Musk have on this process?
I think it was huge. I mean, you had people like me coming out against it, but when Elon Musk retweets something of mine, it's seen by 25 to 30 million people. And those people then are also coming in. And so Elon's saying this is a stinker, Vivek saying this is a stinker, and people started shedding, falling off this bill left and right. And we knew pretty quickly. And in fact, there's one or two of these folks here who are a little bit more liberal than us. And when one of them tweeted they were a no on the bill, that's when you knew that the fat lady was singing over there, that the taps was being blown, and it was time for him to pull the plug. And seriously, probably about 20 minutes later, that's when he said, okay, we're done.
Wow.
Something else. So I thought it was really pivotal, quite frankly.
So it's accurate to say that Elon Musk threatening to primary members of Congress that vote for this bill did indeed destroy this corrupt process.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. And I'm glad you said corrupt process, because I do think it is a corrupt process. None of it was transparent. None of it was open. And doggone it, the only bummer about it is I was the only one in all of Congress that deserved a raise, Benny, and now I don't get that raise, man. It's a bummer. Can you believe it? These guys voted. We're going to vote themselves a raise. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, if somebody is managing your investments, or just like your banker, all right, just like the dude who's supposed to watch your 401k.
Yeah.
If that guy not only doesn't watch your 401k, but actually deletes it, and then now you're in debt a couple $1 trillion, you don't give that person a raise.
No, that's
prima facie.
No, yeah. Look, and by the way, we grow our national debt about $1 trillion every 110 days. That's what this Congress does.
Sickness.
And in the last period of time, I think it was when Biden came in, it was something like 19 trillion, and now it's almost double, right? I mean, it's 36, 37 trillion. And I'm just telling you, Congress does not have the will. And this is why I'm feeling kind of beat down today, is because I'm dealing with folks, and I have a colleague who always says to me, Andy, we're not going to save the country with this group of folks. And I'm just telling you that we're going to rocket past $50 trillion here probably in the next 4 years in national debt.
Not if we have anything to do with it.
I'm very
encouraged. Like I'm tired of people being like down in the mouth, because it's like, no, like you should be encouraged by what happened yesterday, and it should inspire everyone to fight and to say, well, maybe these aren't the leaders that we need. And Thomas Massie said he's not going to vote for Mike Johnson. Is that a growing movement in Congress?
Yes, I think so. It's hard for me to conceive that after yesterday that Mr. Johnson, who, by the way, he's a nice guy. This isn't his position he should be in.
Yeah. So are you going to vote against Mike Johnson?
Well, I haven't said publicly, and I'm not going to give you the scoop, but I just put it this way. I've made no commitment to vote for him publicly.
Okay. I mean, this is a boondoggle. Again, I just want to...
Terrible.
Please.
Terrible.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue your thought. Like, you're not committed to voting for Mike Johnson Speaker again?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, this process, not just the process and the product, have been horrific. They're horrific, and now so now he's got to try to rehabilitate the whatever his product's going to be, and I'm not sure how he's going to rehabilitate it, but it's probably going to still cost us an arm and a leg, and be really, really dramatically bad for the country. And he's going to come to people like me and say, hey, I've lost all the Democrats now. I need you to vote for this. And I'm going to say, well, probably can't do it because you're hosing the American people.
So I want to be very clear, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, Congressman. What happens here is that Republican leaders go into very dark rooms where no one is allowed, and they sit and they huddle with Pelosi, Schumer, and McConnell, and they sit there with their lawyers and their lobbyists and their special interests and dudes with like giant bags of cash, sometimes literally, sometimes metaphorically, and they literally take gobs of cash from special interests to put provisions into these bills like biolabs, like COVID stuff. It's insane what's in here, like hamstringing the administration. This was one giant war pig money grab on their way out the door, knowing that the American people were going to get a new government here in a couple of weeks. And they did this in the dark of night, and you get no say in this. Is this correct, Congressman?
Yeah, metaphorically, that is correct. I mean, but I think you're even giving it too much credit, because my understanding here was that this was basically a negotiation that took place between staff and not even the speaker, right? So
embarrassing.
So the staff goes in and then comes out and says, this is what we've agreed to, blah, blah, blah. And the speaker says yes or no. The point is real, though. You have K Street lobbyists that are actually very much interested in what goes on. They're weighing in. You've got big special interest groups, whether it's Big Pharma or some others, they're weighing in on it. You've got some of the people who've been here a long time, but I nice guys, but they're institutionalists. They're the uniparty. They're the swamp, and they're involved. And then you've got, I don't understand this, why the Democrats were involved. Let's get back to the CR. The CR was a CR is currently Joe Biden, Kamala Harris's numbers. A CR is their policies and their procedures. Why do you think Democrats wouldn't vote for that? And yet they still went. They decided that, well, we've got a narrow majority. We don't want to go to Biggs and say, can we cut some of this spending? They decide we're going to go to the Democrats and lather this thing up with presents and gifts to the Democrats so that they'll vote for it. That's what happens here,
bro. It's crazy. Yeah. The single most popular move in 100 years in Congress would be if Mike Johnson called a press conference right now with a table with like two, maybe 20 pieces of paper on it, and said, here it is, the clean CR. That's it. We're just going to fund the government, and we're all going to go home, and we're not going to add any other crap to this. And dare Democrats to like be against that. And also, Republicans should just start saying these aren't spending bills, they're taxation bills. And they're debt taxation bills. And it's debt slavery for our kids and grandkids. And so every time we spend another dollar we don't have, it's debt slavery for our children. And that's the way that like people need to start talking about this. It's not a spending bill, it's a taxation bill. So Republicans wanted to tax us $110 billion more yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, go back to your district and like explain that. Right? It's like,
yeah, you can't explain it, Benny. That's the problem. You can't even explain the CR is crap. I'm just telling you, it is the lazy person's way to balance. You would never balance your budget and just say, hey, I don't know how much money's coming in. I don't know how much money's going out, but by golly, I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah,
that's what a CR is. You would never do that. You would never do that.
I don't understand why Republicans are such pussies. Sorry for the language here, Congressman. And I know you're a very polite man, but like, I don't get it. And we don't understand media. You don't understand you don't understand like drawing a line and putting them on their back feet. They're so cucked. And I know Johnson's staff. They're all McCarthy people and Paul Ryan people. You want to know why this is a problem? It's the staffers. Okay, the staffers never change. And these guys who actually negotiate the bills, it's not Speaker Johnson. It's like it's Paul Ryan.
It's the staffer.
So it's the ghosts of Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell negotiating these bills behind the scenes. And it needs to be broken. So, I mean, what do you think? Rand Paul said Elon Musk for speaker. You in support of that?
I know people who are. And let me just say that. I've actually had people tell me quietly and privately, particularly after yesterday, they said, I vote for Elon Musk. And that could happen. I don't know how many votes he'll get. I mean, I got 33 votes or something like that when I ran. And so, I just want to beat Elon Musk in the vote category there, but he might beat me. I mean, but
doesn't have to be a member of Congress. Doesn't have to be a member of Congress.
You don't have to be a member of Congress. Yeah. It can be anybody. It could be Joe the Ragman. I mean, it could be whoever we vote on. But I'm just telling you, the performance has been so disturbing to me. My chi is off, and let's just admit that. And I don't know why more of my colleagues don't get that. I hosted a meeting with Tom Homan this morning. We have a bunch of members come, and they got to have $100 billion just to get up and going. And this, by the way, the CR won't stop this. This is my one of my pet peeves. They're selling off fence parts at 5 cents on the dollar in the Biden administration, because he stopped building the fence. We had all the material out there and it sat there for 4 years, and the Biden administration selling it off in the and I asked him, in the CR, whatever you're doing, you got to at least say you can't sell any more parts parts of the fence off, because we're going to have to buy it back.
Yeah.
And look, if you're a real yo-yo, you're out there buying it back for 5 cents on the dollar, and you're going to come back and say, I'll now sell it to you for $1.25, and you're going to make a killing.
And you're from Arizona, so this really hits home for you, Congressman.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's total sickness. I love you got to run a fever to break the virus, right? Like you got to run the fever. So it's gonna be painful. People are gonna sweat. And the people are going to get salty, and I think that's how you actually beat the disease, of this. And we are a sick nation, and so I'm all in favor of it. I love it.
The shot here, the antidote for me is, you could have a 2-week lapse in government funding. You could.
Wow. Yeah.
85-90% of government would keep functioning, and the other 7-8% that doesn't function, most of us don't even know who that is, but that's how government is.
I think most Americans would be okay with a permanent government shutdown, to be quite honest with you.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Congressman. We're headed to your great state very soon. Hopefully, we'll see you there at America Fest. We're headed out today, and we love the fresh, crisp, beautiful Christmas time air of Arizona. Godspeed, Congressman. Please follow the great Congressman Andy Biggs. He's got nearly 1 million followers. Come on, we can get to 1 million by Christmas. Let's give Andy Biggs
Let's do
a
it.
present. 1 million subs on X by Christmas. Come on. Here in that beautiful Arizona desert. Look at that beautiful place.
That's awesome.
I want to just go hiking. I want to go hiking there. Looks incredible.
I hope you do.
Yes, that's right. I hope you join me, Congressman. We can scheme together on making Elon Musk Speaker of the House.
There you go.
Thank you, Congressman. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Benny. Talk soon.
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, exciting times. Exciting times. We won. We won. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. They're trying to put the bill back together. And by the way, I apologize. I got some glitter. I got glitter on me when I was hanging the first stockings. Okay, and I didn't want to get too much glitter. We have more stockings to hang, so I think I'll take a moment here before Mike Lee joins the program. Senator Mike Lee will join the program and hang some more stockings. We have James and Aesop fan 2781 and James Lean. We hang them. These are for our super chatters and for our audience. We freaking love you. What other show will put your name on a physical stocking and hang it up? Hang it up in the studio. We love you. We love the Benny Brigade. We love the Salty Army. We sing a Merry Christmas to you. We sing a Merry Christmas. How dare we? How dare we speak Merry Christmas? Kamala Harris. How dare we? Look at my earpiece going all crazy. Okay, one more. Brando, thank you for your super chats. We say thank you and we hang you up in the studio. Thank you to the super chatters and the people who keep the show going. We thank you so much. There we go. Get my earpiece back in. Oh, dangling, hanging everywhere. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got some news from yesterday. The wasteful spending on Capitol Hill was just absolutely egregious, atrocious, sickening. We have a list of some of the things that were inside of the actual bill that Republicans were trying to pass. You see what I mean here? See how look? I have now glitter. I have now glitter on my fingernails. Okay, I have glitter on my fingernails. Okay, we're gonna have a problem today. You can't go speak at America Fest covered in glitter. All right. Okay, hold on. What Dylan Mulvaney party did you just come from? Okay, here we go. All right. Covered in glitter. This is how much we love. This is how much we care about you. This is how much we love. This is how much we love. This is a big heart to the chat, okay? We're going to be joined by Mike Lee in just a second. Mike Lee is one of the freaking greatest out there. I want to go through, I don't know if we have up, but I want to go through sort of the breakdown of what's inside of the bill, right? And if we have it, then I'd love to jump into it. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. This is the breakdown of the bill, and I want to sort of pair it with this. Pair it with that. There you go. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, America. I want to show you a picture of it. This beautiful nation. It's the reason why we made the red Christmas ornament. We should have made the red Christmas ornament. Maybe we'll do this next year. We'll make the red Christmas ornament county by county map. Look at that. That's what your country is. That's your country. How beautiful is that? What an amazing country we live in. That's your beautiful nation. Where do you live in that incredible nation? Where do you live in that beautiful country? We're right down there. Down in Florida. Tampa Bay is that kind of little carve out there on the western side of Florida. That's where we're broadcasting from. Look at how peachy red that is. Blood red. Beautiful Christmas time red for me. Look at that. You live in a red country. That country, let me explain something. That country, even in the blue parts, I think, mainly. Am I wrong, chat? Even in the blue parts, that country does not want to go into atrocious, crippling debt. That country still has morals they don't want to curse their grandchildren with unpayable debt, with forever war, with biolabs. They don't want to hamstring their children. I mean, if you are a deeply immoral, sunken demon, maybe that's what you want. But not anyone else. Not anyone I know. Not anyone I know. Here's what was in the actual spending bill. that was handed to us by our Republican majorities. Gain-of-function research, mask and vaccine mandates, 12 new biolabs. Wow, that went great last time. Massive congressional pay raises. Really, because Congress deserves that. $60 billion more for Ukraine. A DC sports stadium so members of Congress can go and get drunk and watch NFL games, because the NFL is lacking so much money. The NFL is lacking so much money. We got to lavish the NFL with money. The NFL don't got no money, you know? That's the problem. We just freaking welfare for the NFL. Can you believe that? Congress blocking subpoenas on their own data so that members of Congress can't be held accountable. This is like a protection for January 6th. This was a protection against Liz Cheney and the investigations of Liz Cheney. This is incredible what they've snuck in here. Corrupt emergency powers, legal process quashing, meaning, again, protections for members of Congress. Members of Congress snuck themselves out of Obamacare. Can you believe that? You got to pass it to see what's in it. Members of Congress decided to push themselves out of the Obamacare exchanges in this bill. Can you believe that? A feral swine eradication program. The only feral swine that deserve to be eradicated are the war pigs, ladies and gentlemen, metaphorically, in Washington, D.C. I want to get rid of, obviously, that racket. Elimination of the word homeless. Woke term changes like criminal offender to justice-involved individual. Molasses inspection funding? Okay. Expansion of government censorship center? And transparency in concert ticket pricing. So that the government that pays the members of Congress and their staff that use taxpayer dollars to go to NFL games in the new stadium they just built, just down the street from the Capitol, can see transparency in their NFL ticket pricing, you see. Ladies and gentlemen, Republican leadership needs a lesson in who actually runs the country. The people who actually run the country are you and me. We're the actual stakeholders in this nation. And none of us want this garbage. We are sick of being betrayed and backstabbed by Republican leaders who tell us one thing in their district and go to Washington, D.C. and do another. This has been going on for too long, and now the game is up. Now we have AI to actually read through these bills in real time. All their tricks have gone out the window. It's been atomized. We can read through the bills. We can tell you what's actually inside of these bills, including, in one of these, not in this list, is poison pill to kill any reform that RFK might make to vaccines at the FDA and at HHS. They were literally trying, Mike Johnson was literally trying to sabotage President Trump's first terms and President Trump's appointees and President Trump's promises to the American people. It's the dirtiest thing I've ever seen in Congress. But I'm not in Congress, ladies and gentlemen. The old ways of Washington, D.C. are crumbling before our very eyes, and there's no happier man on earth than the great Mike Lee in the Senate. Possibly and arguably the only man that our founders would recognize in his chair for doing what they constituted this nation to actually do. Mike Lee has been a lonely, lonely man calling from the wilderness about government obesity, gluttony, war pig spending, and the betrayal by both parties of what this nation was intended to be, which was a very small federal government that could be drowned in a bathtub, quite frankly, if you wanted to. Mike Lee, ladies and gentlemen, joining us live right now from inside the Senate to give us an update about this incredible earthquake in our American Republic. Senator, again, the bald looks so good on you. Although I did compare you to one of the founding fathers, you would look great in a wig as well, like a big.
Oh yeah, they would look at me and they'd say, "Where is your wig, young man?"
That's right.
You're not fully dressed without it.
Big, like fluffy, kind of, powdery, beautiful little curls and everything. I mean, you would look great.
Like a judge in England.
They still wear those in England. Kind of love that.
Good look.
Okay, so you must be very happy, Senator. This must come as a joy to you in this process. But I want to give you the floor, and maybe you could explain the landscape and what kind of tectonic shifts have happened now that the American public are seeing through what Congress is trying to do in the dark of night.
Well, look, first, Benny, there's no joy in seeing the American people shafted over and over and over again. There's no joy in seeing the process of government that could and should be orderly. It turned into a needlessly chaotic one. But this is, I will say, the inevitable consequence the inevitable culmination, one that I've been predicting for well over a decade, of the demise of the law firm of Schumer, McConnell, Johnson, and Jeffries. That's the current iteration of the firm. There's this 4-person cartel that has dominated Congress for the entirety of the 14 years I've been here. It goes through a different iteration every so often. But the law firm currently known as Schumer, McConnell, Johnson, and Jeffries has shafted us yet again. And I've been predicting for a long time this would eventually backfire and get to the point where members of Congress and the American people would get wise to what they were doing. Here's what they do, Ben. Every single year, it's like clockwork. They orchestrate the spending deadlines. The first spending deadline hits September 30th. They pump that to about Thanksgiving. Then they pump that one to, December 20th. What an original idea. Then they wait till, I don't know, December 18th to unfurl a spending bill, which they've been promising for months. So you'll get it. We're negotiating the best deal we can. They unfurl it hours before they expect us to vote on it. This one, by the way, was supposed to be different. It was supposed to be a short-term, clean, continuing resolution, just keeping the lights on for a few weeks, until March or something like that, so we could redo the numbers under the Trump administration with Republican Senate and House majorities. Instead, we got a 1,500-page albatross, neither man nor horse, but like the centaur, possessing the least desirable elements of both. A 1,500-page bill, more closely resembling an omnibus than a CR, with all kinds of Easter eggs buried in it. Finally, it backfired. It backfired why? Number one, the existence of X. I've been predicting this on X on my at Base Mike Lee account for a long time. This will eventually run out because the American people speak. The media won't tell you about it. I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face. Media doesn't report on it because it's not part of their narrative. Number two, artificial intelligence, which makes it easier for people to digest this quickly because the firm only leaves us a few hours. Number three, the rise of the popularity of Trump. Number four, the rise in popularity of the Doge movement. Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk have revolutionized things by calling us out on the fact that we're really run by this 4-person dictatorship. And it has not brought out the best either in the American people or in members of Congress. The demise of the firm is at hand. And you and your viewers, your listeners helped hasten it. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful.
I want to give you an opportunity to set on a scale of 1 to 10, how important was Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy exposing of this process to the destruction of this continuing resolution?
It was the sine qua non, the without which not, the indispensable element. It would not have occurred without them. So how do we go forward then? How do we do this? First of all, we're going to need new leadership. We've got new leadership in the Senate coming in the coming year. And I believe that the writing's on the wall, unless I'm just mistaken. It seems to me that new leadership in the House is almost inevitable. If that's the case, I think we need to go outside the box. I think we need to look to a different place. Remember, neither the Constitution nor the House rules require that the Speaker be a current member of the House of Representatives. And I propose that they swami. Look, the Doge movement is enormously popular in the House. Just listen to House members who are Republicans. They can't get enough of them, including many of the people who have been part of this swampy process. They praise Doge. Oh, Doge is going to save this. If that's the case, that being the case, given that they all have expressed such affection for Vivek and for Elon, let them choose one of them. I don't care which one to be their speaker. That would revolutionize everything. It would break up the firm. We would now have government of the people, by the people, and for the people, rather than this cartel from the firm, which is systemically corrupt.
You are in favor of what Rand Paul, who's been your strong ally in the Senate, said this morning publicly, of having Elon Musk be Speaker of the House, or potentially, as you just floated, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Rand and I hadn't even talked about that. I think we both came to the same conclusion at about the same time. But as is often the case, Rand is more articulate and quicker to the punch in getting it out there.
So that would be truly sending shockwaves through all of Congress. Andy Biggs was just on the program, and he said that he's a no vote with Mike Johnson. And Thomas Massie has said the same thing very publicly. You're starting to lose people in quick succession there. Mike Johnson is untenable. This seems to have been the absolute bell that tolls for thee, trying to pull this garbage. The answer is, I guess perhaps I know the answer, but the question is why? It doesn't make any sense. It seems like a massive betrayal. And maybe you're just so used to business as usual, but as somebody in my position, Senator, what I say is, the most popular probably the most popular move that the Republicans in Congress could make over the last 100 years would have been for Mike Johnson to call the media of the world together, and they would all come, and to stand there with Elon Musk and Vivek. They were just in Congress to present the clean CR that would have been 20 pages, maybe less, but 20 pages. Okay, fine. Keep the lights on the government. Okay, whatever. It's Joe Biden spending and Kamala Harris spending that you're continuing. So Democrats dare them to vote against it, right? And then make a point to the American people, use all those cameras and make a single point saying, we refuse to push your grandchildren into tax slavery. We're $37 trillion in debt, and we will end it now. And so here it is, and dare Democrats, why are we such pussies? Dare Democrats to walk away from that deal. Like, why are we so stupid and weak? And we are in control of Congress, and we just won in a landslide. And Senator, it's like, what do we have to do to stiffen some spine and like grow some balls in the Republican Party? It don't make no sense to me.
Because the federal government has been the proverbial axe that boasts itself against him who wieldeth it and he who made it. It has convinced people through this woke mind virus that has infected Americans now for a couple of generations that we would all die if the federal government didn't, not just if it disappeared, but if it didn't do everything that it currently does. From telling you how many grams of riboflavin have to be listed on the box of Cheerios, to what kind of vaping device you can use if you're into that sort of thing, or who can compete in the airline market, what a drone is and who has to regulate it. And they tell local police forces they can't shoot down drones. Every aspect of human existence is regulated by the United States government. And most of those things, by the way, are put in place by laws that are written by men and women not of our own choosing. 100,000 pages a year of new law that imposes affirmative legal obligations on members of the American public that if you violate can get you fined and shut down your business, can even put you in prison, never passed by Congress. Well, my copy of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 1 and Article 1, Section 7, tells me that you cannot make a federal law without both houses of Congress agreeing to the same text and then submitting it to the president. And yet we've outsourced all of that. And that too is part of this diabolical plan of the firm. Everything, all the power has been concentrated within Congress, within 4 people. Within the US government, they've consolidated both legislative and executive action in this part of the executive branch. It's almost like a 4th branch, the administrative bureaucracy. The firm is the glue that has held all of this together. The firm is coming down. We have to finish it. We have to sweep the leg. It's done. But we have to make sure that it ends.
Sweep the leg. I love it. Klein's sitting here in the studio with me, and he's a big UFC fan and a jiu-jitsu master himself. And he's like, yes, use more of that terminology. It does seem, for the first time maybe in your life and mine, Senator, that we're at the precipice of truly changing the way things are done in Washington. Am I overly optimistic?
You are not overly optimistic because this is the only way that it can change, is for us to be optimistic and to see the writing on the wall.
Thank you. Yes.
You know that spring is nigh when the trees start to shoot out leaves. We're not yet, literally it's springtime, but we're at the springtime of the constitutional restoration that's afoot. One that we ourselves have to capture, one that the American people, speaking loudly, clearly, unmistakably, positively, but firmly to our elected officials in Washington, D.C. Tell them no more firm. Biggest single problem with this is that the four-man cabal doing that itself had excluded 330 million Americans from the legislative process. This is a process into which they're supposed to have input. They're basically all excluded, except for those represented by Schumer, McConnell, Johnson, and Jeffries. That has to end. The way this should have worked, regardless of what bill you started with, even if he had given us the same crap sandwich that he gave us yesterday, we still could have fixed it. If he had just done what you're supposed to do in a legislative process and a few weeks ago put it on the House floor or started it on the Senate floor, leave it open to debate, discussion, amendments, and allowing the American people to have input on it. What came out of it might not have been perfect, but at least it wouldn't have been the result of a corrupt cartel-like operation. A cartel-like operation, by the way, which is enforced by some really thuggish practices. You know, I spoke to a member of Congress yesterday. There were others to whom this had happened, but one in particular made a poignant point of it, saying that this member had some important things for that member's district in the legislation. And that member received all kinds of threats from the cadre of acolytes immediately surrounding each member of the firm, saying, you will not get this committee assignment. We will strip this and that from you. By the way, if this results in a shutdown, we will blame you. That sort of thing happens every damn time this comes up. And it's not fair. We've got to end it.
Yes. I think that they think that the government shutdown is going to be like it was in 2015, right, with John Boehner, and it's not actually. Like there isn't going to be. They've lost the plot, and we're living in a playbook that's well past dead. And Republicans are scared of ghosts, right? You flip the lights on, you realize you're living in an entirely different ecosystem where with the right strength, you could put Democrats on their heels defending this woke trash and this obese, gluttonous government spending. And if you frame it as simply taxation, if you just say it's not a spending bill, it's a taxation bill. And Democrats are going to own $110 billion. Democrats need to explain to the American people why we need to tax $110 billion more dollars out of them.
That's exactly what it is. Remember what Milton Friedman said. He said the best way to measure the cost of government is not by the top marginal tax rate or even the average effective tax rate. It is by the rate of government spending, because the piper's got to be paid. Everybody pays for it, especially the poor and middle class. If the government's spending more than it takes in, regardless of what the tax rate is, then the people are still paying for it just by diminished purchasing power of every hard-earned dollar that they make. Yes. That affects poor and middle class Americans disproportionately. Rich people get even richer during these inflationary periods where governments spend like drunken sailors. That's what's so tragic here. This is literally reverse Robin Hood. This is the wealthy and well-connected stealing from the poor and the middle class, masquerading as a democratic system when really it's a thugocracy.
So it is seemingly at an end. Have you spoken with President Trump about this? I mean, President Trump has said recently, as recently as this morning, that not too happy with the process here, and with Speaker Johnson, who's no short of selfies with Elon Musk and Vivek and Donald Trump. They're all over his timeline, but very short of action.
Yes, short of action. And no, I haven't spoken to the president in the last 24 hours. I've spoken to him countless times in recent years about this phenomenon. And he of course, appreciates the gravity of the situation. But nothing has ever presented itself quite like this one, where the system fails. But as I said at the beginning of our discussion today, Benny, I have been predicting this for a long time. Haven't known exactly when it would materialize, but I knew this moment would come. The moment when both the American people and members of Congress woke up to the fact that, we're getting screwed. We're getting screwed badly. This is really good if you're a member of the firm or one of their greedy little acolytes. It sucks for everybody else. And that's why it blew up on them. And look, I really like Mike Johnson personally. He's a good man. I don't know what happened here, but the wheels came off that bus in a really disgraceful way. This can never happen again. I'm not a member of the House, but it's not my place to say whether he's got to go or not. I'm just looking at it. And from what I'm hearing, I don't know that there is a mathematical path for him to rehabilitate himself within the Congress. And if that's the case, they've got to get going right now. And a couple of weeks ago, I was in a meeting, a big meeting, Republicans from the House and the Senate in this big auditorium underneath the basement of the Capitol. And there was just this fawning praise from everybody, every point along the ideological continuum, especially in the House Republican conference, for just this fawning praise for both Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. So given how much they love both of those guys, like huge man crushes and woman crushes on both of them from every end of that conference, they should elect one of them leader. And I can tell you this, neither one of them would subject the House of Representatives or the Senate or the American people to this bullcrap. It would never happen again, and we'd all be better off as a result.
What a Christmas present. Under the Christmas tree, a couple days early. We're a week away from Christmas here. And I was inspired yesterday. And I texted everyone, and I said, a member of Congress that I know and people that come on the show and guests, and it was like, be optimistic. Like, be upbeat about this. Like, stop being downtrodden. You actually win wars by being happy warriors. And they're on their heels for the first time in my, life following this stuff, Senator. And it is time to be joyous and uplifted. And that's what the Christmas time is all about, actually.
Joyful and triumphant.
Yes, joyful and triumphant, and hope for a new birth and for salvation, quite frankly. And that's what this season is all. And it's magical, isn't it? It's amazing to actually see it happen in real time. Maybe
the federal government, like human beings, flawed but redeemable.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's to that redemption. Here's to a true Christmas miracle happening before our very eyes. One of the men who brought it about and who made quite a bit of news in this interview is the great Senator Mike Lee. Go follow him at Base Mike Lee. He's got nearly 500,000 followers, Senator. It's incredible.
A good friend dared me to start the Base Mike Lee account 2.5 years ago, and thank you, Benny, for being that guy.
It's amazing. I don't know the exact numbers. Producer Danny, I'm not sure if you have them off the top of your head, but goodness gracious, this got to make you one of the most followed accounts in all the Senate. You have to be in the top 10 or 5 in the Senate.
Well,
so,
you know what they say, of all the people in the Senate, I'm one of them.
We'll send you that powdered wig, Senator, for your next hit. It would be great.
Fantastic. I'll wear it. I'll wear it.
And a very, very Merry Christmas to you. Our audience loves you and loves fighting alongside of you. Merry Christmas, Senator.
Merry Christmas, Benny. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an exciting moment. Senator Mike Lee, very powerful dude, very influential senator, saying it's time to have Vivek or Elon Musk on the chair in the House. Whew, baby. These are wild times. These are wild times. We are inspired by all of it. And very interested to see what happens next. Is there going to be a government shutdown? I'm okay with that. I really am. Is it time for Republicans to learn? Maybe it's because I've been doing this for too long, right? But I just can't get it out of my head that if Republicans just acted like men, if they just got some balls in their shorts and some gunpowder in their gut and some iron in their spine and just did it. I know I'm repeating myself here. I posted it this morning. Just present to the American public, just be honest, use the bully pulpit, just present to them what a clean bill would look like. Put Democrats on their heels. Dare Democrats to explain to the American people what the hell is going on. Why are they for all this woke crap? Why don't we ever understand what time it is? Why don't Republicans ever use power? Why is this show growing so quickly? Because frankly, you're sick of people who've lied to you. Republicans in this profession or on Capitol Hill who make fat paychecks by lying and grifting, and when push comes to shove, they're nowhere to be found. When push comes to shove, they're not on your side. They're not defending you. They're not going to gas stations and giving away Trump gas prices. They're not putting in the tough work. to actually tell the story and show the physical realities of the hellscape that they want us to live in. Guess what? We won. Look at this map. We won. It's the most encouraging thing I can show you today. We won. That's your country. That's your country with all the fraud. Okay? How red would this country be with no fraud, with no mail-in voting, with single-day voting, with only citizens voting, with a census that actually counted just American citizens? We're going to change that. Believe that. How red would this map be? This map would be it'd be glowing. What's going on in there, Jerry? It's America. This map would be bright red. There would be no blue. I think half the blue would go away if you had a system of just legal Americans voting. If you had just honest votes. And I think that half of the states that voted blue, here's a good map for you, half of the states that voted blue would probably have gone for Trump. I think Minnesota for sure, Virginia for sure, New Jersey for sure, maybe New Mexico. No ID. Look at that. Wouldn't you know? All the states with no ID required to vote, they all went for Kamala Harris. Is that interesting? Yes, it's really amazing. How did that happen? So strange. How did that happen? To get these things done, we must have a strong Congress, ladies and gentlemen. Now, J.D. Vance is roaming the halls of Congress right now like a roaring alpha lion, stating with a firm voice that we will have a strong Congress and that President Trump is going to remake this system. Here we go.
Should Speaker Johnson be reelected? Would you support a clean CR?
Well, what the president believes is we should support a clean CR so long as it contains a debt limit increase. That's the position of the president, and that's what we're going to try to push for.
Are you supporting a government shutdown then?
Have a good night, guys. Thanks.
Did you speak to Speaker Johnson directly? Did you communicate this
announcement? Be reelected, Mr. Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.D. Vance going into Speaker Johnson's office late last night. Oh, I would have loved to have been a part of that meeting. I would have loved to have been a part of that meeting, ladies and gentlemen. Fox News yesterday reporting that Elon Musk, indeed, along with us, all on X together, were the ones who destroyed this system in short order. And I want to state definitively how this all happened. Vivek and Elon deserve an enormous outsized amount of credit, followed up by President Trump, obviously, who's won the election and won the Senate and is president-elect. But President Trump sort of sat back and let Elon Musk be bad cop and go after this thing. And he won. And the way that we won was we were able to read the entire bill with AI, and that gets rid of the technology and technological advancement, got rid of the Dark of Night, cloak and dagger stuff that DC is used to doing. And then we read the bill with AI. We exposed what these people were trying to pass, what they were trying to do. And then Elon Musk says, I'm going to primary all your asses. I don't know if we have the actual post here. Let's go ahead and look here. But Elon Musk said, I will primary you. If you vote for this, I, the richest man on earth, who's set to be the world's first trillionaire, will go in and will destroy you. And that's what Elon Musk said. There it is, right there. Yep. Here we go. Any member of the House and Senate who votes for this outrageous spending bill deserves to be voted out in 2 years. This 1,500-page, $10 billion omnibus bill masquerading as a continuing resolution, the American people deserve better. It's not a spending bill. It's not an omnibus. It's just a taxation bill. We're never going to call it anything else. These are new taxes for Americans, okay? And Elon Musk stopped it, and he's getting all the credit. Here we go.
We're told right now in the past 30 or 40 minutes here that they might try to pull this interim spending bill off the floor and maybe just go with a clean bill. Unclear what that means for disaster assistance. Here's what happened. A post on X by Elon Musk sent shockwaves through the Capitol. House Republicans were trying to see if they have enough votes to pass the spending bill in the next hour or two. Musk posted that anyone who votes yes should lose their office in 2 years, and lawmakers are scrambling.
Tweets from Musk and others, has that complicated this?
Well, I mean, I think that there's always a lot of interest in what's happening up here, and
This is more than interest. They're telling people if they vote yes, they should be voted out.
The social media world is a part of our politics, and I think members have to expect that. There will be a lot of hard votes in the next couple of years.
A member of the House Republican leadership told Fox that Musk is not helping. The lawmaker added that Musk has bigger fish to fry than picking a fight with House Republicans. One source said the bill is now bleeding support from the GOP. When asked how many Democrats the GOP needs to pass the bill, a senior aide replied, quote, a lot. Lawmakers who had hurricanes devastate their districts are torn.
The fact is that, look, this is a sandwich. I don't know how else to say that. We're being forced into this position. They could have done a standalone. They did this because they knew that it would put members in this position to support it. We're damned if we do. We're damned if we don't.
Now, the bill has about $100 billion in disaster relief, nearly $30 billion to restock FEMA's coffers, and there are lots of health care provisions. Jamming everything together in one bill means some Republicans will not support Mike Johnson for Speaker in January.
Have any other of your colleagues said that they're not voting for Johnson?
I've talked to a few, who don't seem like they're going to vote for him. You have to ask them. I'm not going to betray anybody's position.
Will you just vote president, or will you vote someone else's name?
I'll vote for somebody else.
Now, Johnson can only lose one vote and still win the Speaker's race on January 3rd. Some Republicans ask how things are different with a spending bill like this under Johnson than former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The funding deadline is Friday night. Neil?
This is exactly what lost McCarthy the chair. So they're doing the same thing. He's running the same playbook. It's so dumb. And the reason why it's happening is because it's the same staff. I know it's very inside baseball. It's very in the weeds, and we do our best not to credentialize these things and to talk about the realities of the world in commonplace nomenclature, or to just explain things as they are, and not jargon out, or not use acronyms, or not trying to be smart. Because, frankly, I'm not some super high IQ. I went to community college. Okay, I like things explained to me simply as well. Here's how it goes: Speaker McCarthy held over all of Speaker Ryan's staff, and Speaker Johnson has held over all of Speaker McCarthy's staff. So Paul Ryan gets sent out on a rail in humiliation, after John Boehner, who also shared a lot of staff with them, got sent out on a rail in humiliation, and Speaker McCarthy got sent out on a rail on humiliation, and now Speaker Johnson is sitting there with the same staff. They're the same people. You've got to fire them all. You've got to bring in new blood, a new way of thinking about things. Because the American public does not want to give Congress a raise. Congress has a lower approval rating than ass cancer. I mean this. If you look at the approval ratings of cancer versus Congress, I think more people actually like cancer. We've actually run these numbers before. Congress needs to restore their faith with the American people and trust the American people, and the way that you do that is you start being honest with them. A guy who's aptly named Dick Durbin from Illinois got in a little spat with CNN over whether he deserves a pay raise, and it's glorious. I love to see it. Fill my cup with salt. Here we go.
Members are giving themselves a pay raise. Do you guys deserve a pay raise?
Well, that's news to me. It's good news. What has it been, 10 years or 14 years and no COLA, no change at all? I think it's about time something's done.
You support giving yourselves a pay raise?
How would I not know about a pay raise?
But I mean, people look at the performance of Congress and say, why should we give them more money?
What about the media? Think about that for a second.
And we're not paid by public money.
I know you're not, but half of your listeners are not there anymore. You're still getting the same paycheck? What's going on?
Well, you're taxpayer money. You guys deserve a raise. And Durbin essentially said that, yes, they should give themselves a raise. And what also is noticeable, though, to Jim, he wasn't aware that this was in the provision. Yeah. And he's the number 2 Senate Democrat. Just shows you how this was negotiated among a handful of members, and they're going to have to vote on this. And members really won't have time to read it either, Jim.
unreal. But Manu, I have to say, you are worth every penny. Manu Raju.
Shut up, Jim Acosta. Go cry more into your salt. We have we'll even take the top off for you. We have a giant empty salt shaker for you to sob into. I really hope they put Jim Acosta back in the White House during the Trump era again. Please, those were so epic. Those Trump destroying Jim Acosta. That is the one thing, my Christmas wish. Please put Jim Acosta back into the White House so Trump can wreck him again. Good for Manu Raju, is the name of that reporter, saying to Dick Durbin, like, why do you deserve a raise? You're getting public money. It's a great question. It's the sea change is incredible. Like, that's a question that I would have if and when we have Capitol reporters. We will have Capitol reporters for this show. We're going through a credential process right now. We're going to have reporters on Capitol Hill getting clips like that. It's going to be great. Okay? It's going to be amazing. And when we have that, ladies and gentlemen, that's like the kind of question that I would have asked. So I guess to the great credit of that Capitol Hill reporter for CNN, like, well done. It's a freaking awesome question. So here it is. Oh, no, there it is. Is that it? Okay, there it is. Congress is less popular than lice, colonoscopies for ass cancer, and Nickelback. Look at this. Congress, less popular. This is the approval rating for Congress. There it is. Root canal, colonoscopy with a colon there. Colonoscopies have a 58% approval rating. Congress has 31% approval. Lice. People would prefer an infectious parasite burrowing into them and their skull than to have the infectious parasitical class of Congress burrowing into their tax dollars. Used car salesmen are orders of magnitude twice. They're double the popularity of Congress. See that? There's only one way to fix it. The only way to fix it is for what I'm saying to come true. You must actually do this, Republicans. There's only one way out. You propose clean spending bills, you do public votes, and you bring your message to the American people. You have the power. The Speaker of the House, they're so cucked, man. The Speaker of the House can just call all the press of the world, much like Trump can. Trump can do this at any time, and he takes advantage of this all the time. You can call all the press of the world to you. You can beckon them unto yourself. And then you can tell them what's up. You can explain to the American people that we don't have any money. We're all out of money. And we're like, Republicans are putting forward this clean spending bill. And it's going to be 3 pages long. And it's just going to keep the lights on for now until we decide what to cut. And Donald Trump's back in the chair. If you did that, then you would put Democrats on their heels. But we're so stupid. You're staffed by Paul Ryan people. You're staffed by John Boehner people. You're literally staffed by the weakest staffers, the most bought and paid for, feeble, like just their little limp wrists, their little frail bones, like Nancy Pelosi walking down a set of stairs, crack. No, man, enough. Time for a new breed. Josh Hawley's part of that new breed. Josh Hawley, according to our wonderful producer and booker, Kara, cannot join the show. Is that correct? He was going to call into the show, but sadly, Josh Hawley is being pulled in too many directions with the Senate confirmations for President Trump's. He's like ushering the nominees through the Senate today. So sadly, Josh Hawley is giving a floor speech and is ushering, and he sends his apologies. He cannot join. He was going to join this program. It is regrettable. We love the senator. So we'll play you this as a consolation. Here's Senator Hawley saying what the literal F is going on with Speaker Johnson. Go.
You know, Sean, this continuing resolution, whatever, it's a total joke. You're right. It is 1,500 pages of pork barrel spending. And worse than that, it's all the woke garbage. It's the censorship boards. They're getting funded in this. There's hundreds of millions of dollars for a recycling access center in this bill. I mean, it is a total offense. And you pointed out, there's also the pay raise for members of Congress. There's the Obamacare carve out for members of Congress. Here's the thing that really gets me. Republicans negotiated this. The Speaker of the House negotiated this bill. It is a total travesty. This has got to change, Sean. I mean, we cannot go on like this. And I hope that Republican leadership gets the message here, the message of this election, which is that people want change. They don't want this garbage. I'm a hard no on this thing. It is a joke. It is a travesty. And they need to go back to square one.
Back to square one is explaining to the American people what's actually going on here. Like, why is that so hard? It's really not. When people are spending money, well, it is your responsibility to make sure that they are getting the product that they're buying. I don't know why that somehow doesn't work with our federal government. For instance, super chats on this program, ladies and gentlemen, that we will go through right now. It is important for us to make sure that you are getting a quality product, and we are investing heavily in the quality of this product into the new year, and we're going to be launching and remaking some very, very exciting things. And so it is incumbent upon us, even though we have to catch a flight here in just a moment, to go to Arizona for America Fest, and we will be live tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow at America Fest. It will be very, very exciting. We have a banger of a speech. It's important for us to recognize the amount of, well, investment that you have made in this program and to always deliver excellence for you. And that is why we try so very, very hard, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver. And we thank you. This has been a magnificent year. This is not our last live of the year. We will be doing sort of a big thank you show. But again, we will be on stage in America. We have to fly pretty much across the country today to get there, to Arizona, to Phoenix. But we just want to say how profoundly thankful we are because we were part of, we rung a note in the salvation of Western civilization on the show. It was really special. It was a really special year, and I get sentimental about it. And it's something that gives me great uplifting because I feel like we are going to win. We have won, and we're going to win even more. And the power of this program is being recognized by a lot of people. You wouldn't believe who's knocking down our door to come on the show. And so we're going to take that responsibility into 2025. And it's going to be epic. We have some big announcements. It's going to be fun. We're going to take you inside the Trump administration. This is going to be your nexus, your epicenter for what's truly going on behind the scenes in government. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. It is how the roaches scurry and scatter. We're going to be doing a lot of sunlight. We're going to be taking this audience and the size of this audience, and we're going to be exposing everything that we can. And lucky us, some of the most powerful positions in the country now are friends of this program. People who have been on this show night and day. From the Alina Habas to the Takash Patels, all the way through pretty much every single cabinet secretary has been live on this show, or they have been meeting and doing sit-downs with us. It's great. We're ready to rip roar. And we're 100% independent, and we're 100% supported by you. And so we just thank you. We just simply thank you. Here we go. Bill S. wishing the Benny Show and their team very happy, blessed Christmas. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill S. We wish, we bless you back and say thank you so very much. Here we go. I came for the memes and stayed for the values. Benny. And Jesus coin is spreading the gospel on blockchain. There we go. Jesus' name must reach all corners of the earth. Well, it is the Christmas season, in no doubt. No paycheck to Congress until budget is balanced. Merry Christmas and God bless America. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you very much. And Amber, Annalise says, Benny is the best. I love you all. God bless you and your family. Christmas. Viva Cristo Rey. That's right. Freaking awesome. Andrea Barlow says, love your show, Benny. Together we watch the deep state sink farther and farther as truth prevails. That's exactly right. This is how you win. P.S. says, Merry Christmas, Benny, from Paul and Joe. Blessings to the Johnson household. Bless you back. And here we go. I think this is the winner for today. Astrul Empire says, before the election, I've never heard of you, Benny. I was losing hope in the America, and I was getting a little depressed. On the day of the election, a friend of mine introduced me to your channel, and your videos and team have inspired me from there. God bless you. Oh, that's right. That just hits me right here, man. You, I say this with absolute certitude. You will never find a program or a team that is more reflective of real American people, people that are scrappy, that are fighters, that love this place a lot and have a lot invested in this country and are not sneering holier than thou virtue signalers. We are you, and we seek to deliver simply truth to you, and the truth is the light. And we can do that together. And so thank you for joining us in this, because it is a very, very, very Merry Christmas for us as we watch this show grow. And it's the fastest growing streaming news show in the world. Merry Christmas to everybody, and God bless, says Christy. Thank you, Christy. What an exciting, and it says, Benny, show the ornaments, please. Well, here we go. All right, show the ornaments. Well, your wish is my command. Here we go. I got to take it off the tree. The reason why I don't have a stack of these inside of the studio is because, well, we had to ship them all. We've shipped 55,000 of these. It's the most popular red Christmas ornament in the nation's history, and Killer Klein can show you right here on the side screen that this perfectly reflects our nation. Next year, Killer Klein will do just the county by county, even less blue. Okay, even less blue. There you go. Red Christmas. The red Christmas ornament. Ladies and gentlemen, an exciting and glorious time. We have one more Salt That Lived for you today, and we are extremely excited to bring you two Salt That Lives. This one's of Joy Reid, somebody who is incorrectly named because she is not very joyful, but Joy Reid, unjoyful Reid, raging, seething, and salty about Elon Musk and Donald Trump changing Washington forever. Here we go.
Many Americans are truly fed up with the surging inequality between the billionaire class and giant corporations versus everyday people. People feel cheated and taken advantage of. And I'm not just talking about progressives. But in the greatest plot twist, maybe ever, just enough Americans chose the TV billionaire who surrounds himself with real billionaires and corporate CEOs, and the exact same people who are taking advantage of everyday people to make themselves richer. Trump is the man, but not for the working class or the middle class, and certainly not for the poor. Superman saved women and children and people in need, not billionaires. He didn't use his superpowers to get fat cats more tax cuts, which is what Trump uses his powers for. And now we will have a government of, by, and for the billionaires. It's so bad that the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is now running policy by two unelected Trump backers, a billionaire and an almost billionaire. This morning, Johnson went on Fox to tap dance for the Murdochs and announced that he spoke with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy after Musk came out against the spending bill that Johnson is backing.
I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together, and I was explaining to them the background of this. And Vivek and I talked last night about almost midnight, and he said, look, I get it. He said, we understand you're in an impossible position. Everybody knows that. Remember, guys, we still have just a razor-thin margin of Republicans, so any bill has to have Democrat votes. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either.
And scene. I mean, at least he called him Mr. Speaker to pretend like he respects him. It's also ironic. The man who scammed America was elected mainly by rural, working-class people, people who have been groomed for so long by rich men like Rush Limbaugh and Rupert Murdoch and the billionaires who fund those podcasts to love the rich and hate the poor, while Trump dines with the guys from Big Pharma and admits he actually can't do anything to lower grocery and gas prices after all. Sorry, suckers. Maybe instead of Superman, Trump should put out NFTs of himself as Lex Luthor, a bald billionaire egomaniac consumed with an obsession over those labeled heroes by the masses, and who, in one...
What? You're bald! You're bald! What are you talking about? You're bald! The meltdowns are so great. It just shows you who is sinister and who is actually evil. It's amazing on this show to be able to expose these people, to be able to take a step back and actually see who's freaking out over us controlling our nation again. Like us getting our country back, us not funding foreign wars, unwinnable foreign wars, us saving the American dollar, saving this nation for our children. It really is like a bunch of childless cat ladies that are freaking out. Joy Reid, of course, stole Donald Trump's hairstyle. Maybe that's why she's angry. Maybe that's why she's bald. I don't know. I'm not sure. Joy Reid did have literally had Donald Trump's hairstyle for months on end. She styled her hair just like Trump. There it is. You can see it. Maybe this is why she's pissed. You just put that screen up. You just put the screen up. Yeah, just show the people. Joy Reid had Trump's hairstyle. That's what you can see it. You can see it. Look at that. It's just she's upset because she had to switch it up. She's upset because Trump won. She thought she could swagger jack Trump. That's why. There it is. Too bad. Ladies and gentlemen, we did win. We did win. We have a special gift for you at the end of the show here. We are going to take you to Fulton County. We predicted this. This is too long of a clip to play earlier in the broadcast. We'll close with this, ladies and gentlemen. Going to Fulton County, your funding of this, your watching of this show, and I don't mean funding because you just watching the program gives us the capacity and the power to do these things. I know there's a lot of people who don't have any scratch in their bank account, and I spent most of my life dead broke. Dead broke. But you just watching the show, which you can do for free every single day, funds us, and we were able to go to Fulton County and give out MAGA hats. It was possibly my favorite thing that we did this entire year. It took a force of nature to actually get it done, but we did it, and it was really fun. It was just the best, man. We're gonna play that for you, and that'll be our final song to Fani Willis, our final swan song off to Fani Willis to end her political and legal career. It will be very, very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do have a little bit to invest, please consider my friends at Allegiance Gold. Allegiance Gold will diversify and help you diversify your savings today. And this is something that obviously I do. Gold is a very important commodity along with precious metals and silver. I invest in gold and silver. The way I do that is through a mix of purchasing physical gold and indexes, and that diversifies. There have been some crazy ups and downs in the stock market, and the Fed has proven to be totally and completely, utterly irresponsible with our money, as has our Congress, as demonstrated by the entire last 2 hours of broadcast. So make sure that this stuff that's not going to be fixed overnight, that you protect against it, hedge against it. Go to protectwithbenny.com today. Call 844-66-BENNY. That's 844-66-BENNY. Let them help you get started. Protect with Benny today. Performances may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making any investment decisions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before signing off and heading out to Arizona, our verse of the day here, ladies and gentlemen, talk about solid gold. Here we go. The reason for this season. The Christ child who is delivered gold from the Magi, the wonderful counselor, Christ. From Isaiah 9:6, foretelling of the birth of Christ. For a child is born unto us, a son given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Almighty God. Oh, man. We have so very much to be thankful for, and we have ended our show, every single show this year, and every single live this year with a verse, with a Bible verse to remind us who's actually in charge. It's not us. It sure as hell ain't us. And if you believe that this moment in American history was brought about by anything other than a confluence of miracles, then you are sorely mistaken. Truly, this is something that has moved even the coldest of stone hearts. You'd be amazed at the number of people that sit with us at various events and tell us that they were atheist or agnostic. And watching Trump survive a bullet has changed their opinion on whether there is an almighty. and whether there is actual miracles on this earth. And the first miracle to affect the entire earth, ladies and gentlemen, and change the course of human history forever, of course, was the birth of the Christ child. And it is something that we profoundly and graciously and thankfully remember on this program, and do so every single show. Christ is King, and unto us a child is born. Wonderful Counselor, ladies and gentlemen. The government will rest on his shoulders. I feel that. We feel that every single show. As a massive, massive shout out to Fani Willis and a parting salty present to her, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy us handing out MAGA hats in Fulton County. I can't think of anything more fitting for this news cycle. And remember that all is never lost, and all we need to do is fight. Fight back against evil, and light shall prevail against the darkness. Merry Christmas from The Benny Show. May God bless you. We're fighting right alongside you. Enjoy.
Donald Trump was president, was life better?
Life was 100 times better, and I felt like the tip of the spear was sharp. Come on now.
Woo! America. Listen, man, Donald Trump is the best thing that ever happened to America, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's go.
Of course. Who you voting for?
Trump.
Yeah, why's that?
Because we need to be Republican again.
I don't know what they got to say about Trump, but I know what I got to say about him. I'll with him. Excuse my language.
Hold on, we gonna see that.
Did the flash.
Throw that joint on, yeah.
Oh, these my people right here.
Watch out, 2024.
Now I gotta put that on for real.
Do you think Kamala would ever come to this neighborhood?
Who is that?
Yeah.
You want to make America great again?
Yeah.
Make America great again, baby.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let me see you. Yeah, that's the look right there, my brother. There you go.
Essentially, that America was in better hands under Donald Trump, so vote Trump.
Welcome to Fulton County, Georgia, otherwise known as Atlanta. It's one of the most dangerous counties in all of America. It also votes overwhelmingly for Democrats. This place has seen better days, that's for sure. How popular is the MAGA hat around here? You wouldn't expect it, but Donald Trump did go to a Chick-fil-A in this county. He's also being prosecuted in this county, and this is the county that gave us the legendary Trump mugshot. We rolled up in the Trump Rolls Royce with rapper Forgiato Blow to hand out MAGA hats in the hood today in Fulton County. Let's see if the people of Fulton County want a president with a mugshot. What's up, guys? We're out here in Fulton County with the Rolls Royce full of MAGA hats, Forgiato Blow. We're going to be handing these hats out today and see the reaction the fine people in Atlanta. Is this Trump country? Let's go find out, boys.
Trump country, baby. West side Atlanta, let's go.
Who wants MAGA hat? The setup for the free MAGA hat giveaway is pretty simple. We just parked the Rolls Royce on the curb and started handing out hats. Instantly, a crowd formed, and we asked a simple question. Why are you voting for Donald Trump?
They are for you.
Make America great again.
Listen, man, Donald Trump is the best thing that ever happened to America, and I'm gonna tell you why. He don't hide his feelings. He don't hide his emotions. He don't hide who he is. Do you want somebody to hide who they are? No, and Donald Trump doesn't do that. I love Trump. Let's go. Let's go, Trump. Let's go. More money with Trump.
That's cool,
man, too.
Make sure you go vote with that hat, you feel me? You can get my hat off my head. Keep pushing the knowledge of the kids in the street. Vote Trump. There you go.
No, we not voting Trump because it's a racist situation. We voting Trump because we believe in the South and our gun rights, right? I'm pro-life. I think inflation was under control during Trump. It's time for America to get back to being great. And no, America wasn't always great for black folks, Latino folks, white folks. Ain't nothing wrong with being pro-America. We born here, we raised here. We ain't never seen nothing else. Most of us, these neighborhoods, American heroes, American history. Why not? You see artists supporting things you're supposed to do. You go in any other country around the world, they doing it. Why can't we love our country? Why can't we, hey, Make America great again. I'm a small business owner. You see my son in the car with me. We just dropped off an order. We trying to do business. I love Atlanta. I love this city. Some people vote blue, some people vote red. Me, I have a right to say, hey, I want to make America great again. I believe in brotherhood. I believe in sisterhood. I believe in spirituality. I believe all the good things that made this country great still exist. Back before Donald Trump ran for president, we all wanted to be like him. And if you say different, you a lie.
Hey, I'm a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I've been Democrat for years. But she ain't making sense to me, you know? She gotta make sense to me. She ain't made no sense. She ain't made her policies foundation. She ain't made it strong enough, so I don't mess with her. I hope Trump win. Just put it like that, I hope Trump win.
What do you think about the border?
I think what Trump did with the border, what we needed. I don't like everybody coming over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can't do that in their country.
Fact.
They'll lock our up.
Yes.
They'll kill us.
That boy Trump, man.
What's up, Trump? I get you a MAGA hat? You want a MAGA hat, my brother?
For sure. I don't know what they got to say about Trump, but I know what I got to say about him. I'll with him. Excuse my language.
Get you one right there, my man.
Thank you.
Yep. Y'all want a hat? Free hat?
I love him. He for the community.
Community for the people.
For the people.
Help people get money, care about people, right?
Trump 2024. Joe, Trump 2025. 2024 over with.
I like America. I want America to be great. He says he's going to do it, so hey, I'm putting my word in him.
Yeah, man. Trump, man. Vote Trump, man. Make America great again.
Tell me the reason why you just said, though.
Oh, Trump like that money. He ain't racist, man.
Make America great again. Make America rich again.
Make America great again, man. Vote for Trump.
Look at that.
Trump 2024. I already voted.
Yeah.
Look, man.
You voted Trump.
I voted Trump. You know I voted Trump, man. Who better than to run a country than a businessman when a country of business, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't want to see that woman in office at all. Not because she's a woman, just because of her track history. I'm saying she done locked up too many black men as a prosecutor, so she'll never get my vote. I'm Trump all day. I own a black truck company. Anybody voting for Trump, call me. Free rides to the voting booth if you vote for Trump. If you voting for Kamala, I'm charging you extra.
The news won't show that there's people out here in the hood or different areas rocking with Trump. We come out here, we can't even keep these things in hand. They taking them.
Yeah, we with Trump.
Make America great again.
Trump it up.
Yeah.
That's it. Make Trump great again.
Why you vote Trump, man?
Well, because I like him, man. Me personally, I like him. I like his personality. I like his attitude. And I like his understanding of how he need to shape, how America need to be shaped again.
Hold up. MAGA hat delivery.
Rolls Royce, baby.
MAGA hat delivery.
Thank you.
Oh, these my people by him.
What's up?
2024. Now I got to put that on for real.
Was life better for you under Trump?
Trump, most definitely. Most
better
definitely.
years here. Yeah.
Most definitely. We done seen Trump here in this same Chick-fil-A before.
Do you think Kamala would ever come to this neighborhood?
Who is that?
Yeah. Make America great again.
Okay.
Where we at right now?
So we in Atlanta.
West Side?
This your road. I'm gonna be something heavy. Hold on. Y'all like a hot mess, but hold on, let me see.
Yeah, that's you right there.
Make America great again.
Make America great again.
All right. Sir, was your life better when Trump was president?
Oh, yeah. It was better when he was the president. It wasn't better when Democrat was the president. Joe Biden or all the Obama. Yeah. No, they ain't no good, man. I'm telling you now, Trump is the good. See, Trump is a gangster, man. Yeah.
American gangster, that's right.
I like that.
American gangster. He was over here at the Fulton County jail getting a mugshot.
Yeah, I know that.
Remember the mugshot?
Right.
Who you voting for?
Trump.
Yeah, why's that?
Because we need to be Republican again.
What would you say to Kamala if she was here, if you got a chance?
Do you want some Trump hats? This is probably Obama's motorcade. This is a presidential detail. Obama's not in it yet, but this is a presidential.
My dearest Fani, I'm writing to you from the backline bunker basement in the White House to remind you that orange mad bad. Also, it appears your fornication has not gone unnoticed. Fornication. That word should bring new meaning to all of us, considering that we are all f***ed in this next election if you do not put Trump in jail. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go start a war with Texas because I'm a little short on votes right now. Signed, your biggest Fani. Love, Joe. Go get him.
Trump told the Iowa audience he would not be a dictator except for on his first day in office.
Come here, Trump, and you ain't black.
I'm gonna come.
I made my financial disclosures disappear.
I don't feel like we've been slowed down at all. I do think that there are efforts to slow down this train, but the train is coming.
You're damn right.
Is that the ice cream truck?
Oh shoot, I forgot to play the song.
Snowflakes are falling and they taste so salty. Liberals are crying, I couldn't be more jolly. Oh, yo, ho, ho, we love the Benny Show. Say Merry Christmas and never let it go. The country turns so red, it looks like Santa's sack. Celebrities pack their bags and never come back. Well, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas from the Benny Show. Where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade. Cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be. Faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade. Cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be. Faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light.